Sizzle start and drop with flair.
Cheers!
Fresh ingredients, love in the air. Nourish your body, feel so fine. Healthy living every time.
Welcome to Dancing in the Kitchen, a cooking show with a twist. On this show, we nourish ourselves inside and out through dance, music, community, and healthy food so that we can all experience more joy and resilience in our lives. I'm your host, Hannah Romanowsky, and today we're talking about something that affects just about everything, from your energy to your mood to your glow and your overall well-being. And this is something that a lot of people have challenges around. What am I talking about? Digestion. There's an Ayurvedic proverb that says, when diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need. For how true that is, there's a catch. It's not just what we eat, but how our body digests, absorbs, and metabolizes the nutrients from our food that matters. You could be munching all day on the healthiest food, but if your gut isn't functioning properly, your cells might still be malnourished. There's so many things we can do to support the health of our gut, and today's episode is packed with tips, food swaps, and dance moves to get those digestive fires burning. So let's get into it. In the morning, before you have anything else, have some water with a splash of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. You definitely want to dilute it because apple cider vinegar can be harsh on your throat and the acids are harsh on your enamel as well. But it is so good for your stomach. So just add a teaspoon or two to your water, and it's going to help break down proteins and help you absorb minerals from your food. Another option is to drink apple cider vinegar 30 minutes before a meal. This will help suppress your appetite so that you get fuller on less, improve your digestion, and regulate your blood sugar levels. And that's pretty amazing. Having apple cider vinegar before your meal actually lowers the glycemic load of your meal. Low stomach acid is way more common than you think, and symptoms like gas, bloating, fatigue might be your body's way of saying, hey, I need some help. By the way, many people take antacids to address acid reflux and heartburn, not aware they may actually be exacerbating the problem, as these symptoms are a result of low, not high stomach acid. I know that seems counterintuitive, but it's true. Do you want to spice things up? Try making a fire cider with apple cider vinegar, garlic, ginger, and add a little kick of something spicy. Your immune system and your gut will thank you. And now it's time for Swap It, where we upgrade old favorites to make room for nourishing alternatives. Today's swap, tempeh bacon, instead of regular bacon to help support digestion. Tempeh is a fermented soy product full of probiotics, those good gut bugs that help keep your microbiome thriving. It's smoky, savory, and a perfect plant-based addition to your meal that's really going to give you that umami taste. So if you're looking for ways to cut down on processed meat and still get that satisfying flavor, try feeding your belly-friendly bacteria tempeh bacon. we're going to be making a BLT salad, belly-loving tempeh salad. This is going to be so good for your gut and contains probiotics and other cleansing foods that help to stimulate your digestive system as well as your liver. First, we're going to make the tempeh bacon. Tempeh, if you're not familiar with it, it's fermented soybeans, and it's super good for your gut. We all need more probiotic foods in our diet. It used to be we ate a lot of them. That was before the refrigerator. We had to preserve our food through the winter, so we had sauerkraut, and we ate a lot of fermented foods. And our guts were very different than they are today in the modern world, where not only are we not getting those probiotics, but we are assaulted with so many chemicals that really disrupt our gut health. So today in this recipe, we're using tempeh bacon. Now you can buy tempeh bacon pre-made, pre-marinated at the store. It's a little more expensive than getting plain tempeh. Today I made my own. I got plain tempeh and I marinated it. I used tamari, you can use liquid aminos. I used a little bit of olive oil, some paprika, salt, apple cider vinegar. You could add liquid smoke if you want, some pepper, some rice vinegar. So now I preheated the pan and we want it nice and crispy. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil. And I'm really going to hope I don't get this on my silk blouse. Yes, it's time to get dancing in the kitchen aprons. And I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit more. So what I did was slice it really thin. These have been marinating for a couple hours now. It smells so good. Do you smell it? So other ways we can support our digestion include cooking your food. When you smell your food, I'm telling you, this smells so good right now. When you hear your food, when you touch your food, when you look at the colors of your food, all of this is stimulating the cephalic phase of digestion. Cephalic refers to the head. So when you salivate thinking about food, that's your cephalic phase. And the enzymes in your mouth, which is actually the first part of your digestive system, is preparing to break down food. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside and let it finish browning. Tempeh is one of the probiotic foods that we're going to have in this salad. We are also going to use some coconut yogurt. Again, yogurt is a probiotic. And ginger. Actually, we're not using ginger, but that's okay. I want to talk about ginger anyway. Ginger, as well as basil and also mint, are wonderful for supporting digestion. So if you have any digestive distress, these are great herbs and spices to include. Lemon also is really helpful for detoxification. You want to eat the peel and you want to eat the pith. Bitter foods, we all need more bitter foods in our diet. They really help the liver create bile, which emulsifies the fat in our small intestines. So get some bitter foods in. Don't be afraid of the pith. Of course, we want vitamin C. We also want our vitamin Bs. So here we go. Let's get saucy. This is going to be the probiotic-rich dressing that we are going to add to our salad. We're starting off with coconut yogurt, which is a prebiotic, and we're going to be adding some Dijon mustard. I'm not measuring, like a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. Some maple syrup to balance out the acidity. About the same, maybe a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons. We're going to add a little bit of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon. Some pepper. Oops. And the lemon. And for the lemon, we're going to eat the peel. Yes. Make sure to smell that beautiful lemon. The more we can do to take the stress off of our digestive system when we eat, the better. It's actually the most intense thing we do on a daily basis is digest our food. Slowing down, chewing your food thoroughly, taking time for gratitude before eating, preparing your own food, making sure your food is pretty and tasty. This is all very important. And also making sure that you are in a rest and digest state. You want to activate your vagus nerve, your parasympathetic state. So what are some ways you can activate your parasympathetic state? Sing, hum, chant, whatever works for you. I like to blow bubbles with my cat. I meant to bring bubbles today. Deep breathing, humming, singing, all of these things are going to activate your vagus nerve, which is deeply connected to the health of your gut, the well-being of your digestive system, which is deeply connected to your brain health. In fact, the gut is called the second brain. In many ways, it operates much like the brain in our head, and it's controlling a lot of functions of the body. I don't mind extra lemon in everything. I double the lemon. So now what we're going to do with our dressing is we're going to add it to our kale. And dark leafy greens, especially bitter greens like mustard greens, are really important for detoxification. And you want to get your chlorophyll, your dark colors, dark green colors in your food. So here's how I like to get the rib out of the kale. I just like to rip it like this. I think it's fun. And then you take your kale and you roll it up. I'm going to fold it in like that. Not particularly neat, but that's okay. You take your knife after you roll it up and you do really thin ribbons. It's called a chiffonade. Tucking your fingers in as you go. Now, kale, you want it to break down in the acids. So we are going to let the sauce, we're going to let the dressing sit in the kale, ideally 30 minutes in the fridge. And you do, when it comes to cruciferous vegetables, you do want to chop them and then let them sit for a while before you eat it anyway, because they produce something called sulforaphane, and there's more activated when it's been chopped. So here we are, our wonderful chiffonade kale, and we're going to add our dressing. And don't be afraid sometimes if you're making a kale salad. I'm not going to do it with this one, but if you have like your olive oil and your vinegar, you can actually get your hands in there and massage the kale to soften it, and that's going to help just make it a little more digestible. Let it soften and break down a little bit. But that's good. We're going to put this aside and go back to the other step. We're going to be cooking, roasting some tomatoes in here next. Don't bother cleaning the pan. We want all that yummy tempeh bacon juice to flavor the tomatoes. And we're going to be adding about a cup or a cup and a half of tomatoes, of cherry tomatoes. And tomatoes have lycopene in them, which is an antioxidant that's in red foods, and it's especially good for prostate health. There's more lycopene released when it's cooked. So that's what we're going to be doing. And if for any reason tomatoes don't work for you, you can leave them out of this recipe, no problem. All right, so we're going to let those brown and soften and caramelize a little bit. I'm just going to flip those over. And you do want to cut them in half first. And we do want to be eating fiber-rich foods. Fiber helps sweep the colon, regulate blood sugar, and feed the good gut bugs. Your plate should be about 3/4 plants. You want colorful plants. Different colors correspond with different phytonutrients. And you do want some raw as well as cooked. Raw foods, especially if they're sprouted or fermented, which is also easier on your digestive system, they're full of enzymes, and we need those enzymes that help us break down the carbs, the protein, and the fat in our food. I kind of want to add a little more of the marinade. Now it's time to assemble our salad. We're going to put it on a bed of spinach or other maybe microgreens. We're adding our kale that's been softening in the dressing. And we'll be adding our tomatoes. They smell so good. Nice and browned in the marinade a little bit. And of course, for our wonderful umami flavor, that gorgeous, tasty tempeh bacon. Beautiful. And this salad is so nourishing and filling too. This is like a meal. And just to top it off, I'm going to add some hemp seeds. A nice essential fat protein source. And there you have it. Our BLT belly-loving tempeh salad. And now it's time to see what's on the movement menu. I have the perfect dance for you to help support your digestion. And maybe you could guess from my outfit, it's what in the West we call belly dance. This dance originated in the East, in the Arab world and beyond, and it actually is simply how people would dance in the kitchen with their grandmother, with their family, in their towns and villages. So the dance that we know as belly dance, which is called Raqs Sharqi, or Dance of the East, in the East, actually comes from all these traditional folk dances and social dances. So you don't need an outfit like this to do it. I will show you some moves. And we're in the perfect place because this is where the action happens, in the kitchen. And the wonderful thing about this dance in particular is that it focuses on the abdominal region. And we really want to have our abdominal region toned because it helps with motility. It helps move food through the digestive system in the process called peristalsis. So here we go. We're going to be activating all these muscles and massaging the organs that help with digestion. The first movement we're going to do, first of all, is you're going to lift and drop your chest. This is called an undulation. And think about how it's actually moving through. Think about how it's actually moving food through your digestive system. And what I love about this dance too is that because it's so internal, it's also a way to move emotions through your body. And also, we're bringing loving attention to this part of the body that a lot of women feel disconnected from. So bring that loving energy to your belly, your gut, your womb, your creative center, and let your spine undulate as you roll through, lifting and dropping the rib cage in a very gentle, rolling wave. And what's beautiful about this too is that it's honoring a woman's body. It doesn't matter what age you are. And of course, men enjoy belly dance as well. Rolling through. Great. So another really nice move to do is to just swing your hips side to side, pressing into the floor with your feet. A nice gentle sway side to side. And now, moving your hip back to front, pushing off the back foot, getting a little twist in there. You can't see what my feet are doing, but if you would like more instruction, I do teach Zoom classes as well as in-person classes in Sonoma County and private coaching. So I'm happy to share with you more of these moves that can really help with your personal expression, creativity, connection with your body, and it helps with digestion. It's really important to get any kind of exercise. But this one in particular, I think, is a wonderful addition. And now we're pushing out and down with our hip. We're making a gentle figure 8 movement. Always breathing. And then one last move. A sway of your upper body from side to side. rolling through the side, it's a side undulation, just feeling that sense of softness and really turning in. Don't worry about what it looks like. It's about feeling that softness, that fluidity in the body, the breath, the airiness, the water quality. And this is all calming the body too and preparing it for digestion. Thank you for joining me on Dancing in the Kitchen. See you next time.
Healthy living made easy. We cook it up and keep it breezy. From your kitchen to your plate, good food, good vibes get away. Healthy living made easy. Taste the joy, it's all so cheesy.